Traffic Time with Jaime. My name is Jaime. Thank you for stopping by. I just wanted to pop in real quick and ask a question, more so regarding how I'm feeling right now. I have an excruciating pain in my back, my shoulder blade, shoulder, arm. It hurts. It hurts to sleep. It hurts to drive. I can barely focus at work because I'm in pain. But I haven't seen a doctor, haven't gone anywhere, haven't been seen by anyone. Now I do have an appointment for tomorrow morning because I don't think I can fix this myself. But that got me thinking, in the last 5 years, how many times have you guys gone to the doctors for anything, no reason specifically? You know, it could be a flu, cold, headaches, back pains, leg pains. Have you been to the doctor in the last 5 years? I haven't. I think I've done 2 annual checkups, maybe 3 in the last 5 years. Other than that, I can't really recall going to the doctor for a flu or a cold or, this pain that I'm feeling right now. Which then leads to the next kind of thought process. Is it that I'm Mexican? Is it that I'm a millennial? Is it a combination of both? How many of you are in the same boat and weren't really raised to go get yourself checked out? I know my parents didn't go to the doctors. The only time growing up that I went to the doctors or the clinic was to get my shots for school. I think for cavities when I was just too strong to bear, I needed to get my teeth pulled out. I think I went one time we went to TJ to get a cavity that was so bad. It was going to be so much money, no insurance in the US yet, right? I was just starting off my career, so not having insurance was a big issue. I went with my wife and we got that taken care of. But other than that, can't really think or recall times that we've had to go to the hospital or the doctors. I've been in 2 motorcycle accidents, 3 really technically if you consider one fall an accident, but I've fallen off the bike 3 times. I've had 3 car accidents. I've been in the military. I've played sports. I'm 41 now, and I've only been to the doctor several times in my lifetime. None for broken bones, none for those injuries. I don't think I've gone to get assessed. Maybe when I got in a bike accident, I might have stopped by because it was already my annual physical. I mentioned it and I was checked for it, but we had no CT, no big specialty doctor, basic checkup, basic questions, and that was it. Now, I don't know if we're just programmed that we don't need doctors, or we're programmed to not seek out help, but I don't necessarily agree with it. I feel like if you really need it, or if there's a special reason why you need to go see a doctor, you should go see a doctor. Now, if you have a special situation, if you have a chronic illness, if you have, unfortunately, let's say you have cancer or something similar to where it's an ongoing issue, then I get it. You're gonna see the doctor more often than others. You're probably gonna see a doctor several times a year. But other than that, I was just talking to some coworkers how even for our baby girl, and our son, we've only gone to a doctor or reached out to a doctor when fevers have gone on for over 3 days and they're reaching 104 degrees. That's when we're okay. There's nothing we can do, or we've tried everything and the temperature hasn't gone down. But our kids can have diarrhea, they can have a cold, they can have a fever. If we can manage it or control it in our household, we typically do, because we feel like there's nothing that the doctor's going to give us or do for us that we can't do for ourselves. And I don't know if, again, that goes back to the programming of just our parents to us. We feel like we can take care of ourselves as long as no body parts hanging off of us. There's no severe cut. We pretty much just take care of everything ourselves. Now, the more information, the more knowledge we have about body, our brains, how our body can take certain hits, how much it can take, and what's not healthy. I think that's when we realize, okay, maybe we should have gone in this situation. But again, thinking back to just 15 years ago, 10 years ago, when people hardly used the internet for information, didn't have smartphones that could just research whatever we wanted at the type of a key. It makes it harder for us to reach out and seek information. I think now when I hear people at work or just online, people saying, "Oh, I took my kids to the doctor because they had a fever." I mean, if they woke up with a fever of 101, yeah, that's something to worry about. But there's things you can do on your own to take care of that child that wouldn't really require a doctor's visit. People wake up and they have a headache or a stomach ache and they go to the doctor right away. And that's also, I don't know, because nowadays a lot of jobs will take a doctor's note to excuse you from work, just like they used to excuse you from school. I guess people still excuse you from school now with a doctor's note. But I don't know if that's the same mentality people have, is, well, I'm just going to go to the doctor and get the doctor note to show that I was there because of my inconvenience or my pain. In reality, you could have made it through the day, but you chose not to do it just because you didn't feel like it was work or whatever it was. For myself particularly, I like to keep a lot of my sick days, I like to keep my sick time for as long as I can. I like to use my time for planned events or for real emergencies where I just can't even drive to work and it's not safe for me to drive to work. And that might happen once, maybe twice a year. We have kids, so obviously they bring in stuff from school. My daughter is a toddler, she eats things off the floor, so all those kind of things just add up, and you can't really get away from getting sick, at least that one time a year. We're about to go into the winter time. We like to keep our kids, clean and healthy. We make sure everything's washed. We try to prevent things from being eaten off the floor. But other than that, we tend to still have our son, which eventually will be our son and daughter, bringing germs from school, and they're eventually going to get sick or get us sick as well. But we don't go running to the doctor as soon as we see some type of illness or fever, cold, whatever it might be, that we can just stay home, cook some soups, take some medicine, hydrate. The things that the doctors have told us over the years that we feel like, man, well, you keep telling me the same thing every time I go, why would I keep going? So again, over the last decade or two, we really haven't been going to the doctors because there hasn't been a need. We can do everything ourselves. But it just makes me curious to know, because I work with a lot of different ethnicities, a lot of different age groups, and more people go to the doctor for things that I myself don't go to the doctor for, or didn't grow up going to the doctor for those reasons either. So again, more of a curious thing. As I talk to friends and family, I would say the majority of my groups are the same way. They didn't grow up going to doctors. They don't go now. Their parents didn't go. Shoot, our parents could have had broken limbs and they still would have gone to the doctors. I think their mentality is, well, it was so far away to go to a doctor, or if they were in the United States, it was so expensive to go to a doctor, that they'll stitch up and wrap it up themselves and keep on moving. There's people that I think I've met in the last couple of years where, they'll tell me like, yeah, I was dislocated shoulder or something similar, maybe not severe, but they have something where it just got worse over time because they didn't see a doctor when it was starting off, and because of that mentality, the way they were raised, they felt like they could just walk it off and work it through. But as the years went on, and things just got worse. Very unfortunate. All that kind of leads now to things like mental health and people not really taking care of themselves, not seeking out doctors for your well-being. I highly recommend it. Now, obviously, those are also pricey. Specialties, psychiatrists, therapists, all that costs a lot of money. If you can find free resources, talk to people, avoid spending your whole check on one visit. Obviously, that route. But if you really need to take care of yourself, whether it's mentally or physically, you know, try to do that. Make sure you do so that you can take care of yourself, be with your friends and family, be there a long period of time. That's it. I don't know what you guys think. If you guys are in the same boat, leave a comment, share this out. I'd like to know what everybody thinks about this. Thank you guys.